I'm not paid to be a role model. I'm paid to wreak havoc on the basketball court.
There's the pass to Leonard. Puts it up. Yes! Is it the shoe?
I was going to rip his heart out. I'm the best ever. I'm the most brutal and vicious and most ruthless champion there's ever been.
One of the world's most talented athletes is retiring. It is true what somebody said today. There was Babe Ruth and Muhammad Ali and Michael Jordan and Wayne Gretzky.
Gretzky in front. Saved by Flaherty. The rebound. Score!
Favre just threw it perfectly right over him to Corey Bradford. Only Brett Favre could do that. I don't care what you say.
This is WHPC Sports Talk on the voice of Nassau Community College, 90.3 WHPC.
Game on! Game on!
That's right, sports fans. Happy Friday. Feel Good Friday on WHPC Sports Talk. On the voice of Nassau Community College, 90.3 WHPC. And some interesting times in New York sports. Some real interesting times. I mean, we got the good, we got the bad, and we got the ugly. I'll call it that, fellas. Before I get into that, I'll take a second to introduce everybody. Host for today, Joshua Umahi. Joined by me, I have Ross Levine.
Hello.
I have Nico Each.
What's up, guys?
And I have Matthew Leonard. What's up?
You just used the government name. Screw you.
I told you I was going to do that yesterday.
Screw you. I didn't think you'd remember. I hate that you just did that.
Oh, well, fellas, before I get started, how are we all doing?
I feel like I'm in trouble with my parents now. What? Why? Why would you do that?
Matthew Leonard, I need to have a talk with you.
How's everybody else?
Everybody
Nobody?
good?
Nothing?
Nothing?
Mets won yesterday.
Yes, sir.
Good
Big win. Huge win.
So we will start there, everybody. I mean, what a day. What a night in the prior game. What a series for the New York Mets.
A lot of New York news going on right now. Like you said, good, bad, and ugly is a great way to put it.
It's a feel-good Friday, so I'm going to start with the good. You know what I mean? So
yeah.
Let's do that. The New York Mets, Chris Bassett on the mound yesterday against Clayton Kershaw. Mm-hmm. And Kershaw, he kind of started off rocky. I mean, he walked the bases loaded. Well, yeah, walked the bases loaded.
Yep. So unlike him, by the way, his whole career, even when he wasn't going well, he's never a guy to walk three guys in a row.
Oh, and how about, Mark Canha working the count, being disciplined, and driving in the first run of the game. Got it started right, and then, the Dodgers came back, take the lead. And, eventually the Mets win. I'm going to get into a big reason why they won and the totality of the win a little later on. But, guys, and Matt, we specifically talked about tiers. Mets, Dodgers, are they in the same tier? Are the Dodgers the tier above the Mets? Well, after this series, I'm not going to say I'm vindicated because, again, the playoffs have to happen.
Yes.
We'll see, but this is a big-time series win from the New York Mets.
I half stand by my statement that they're not in the same tier still, right? I stand by it in that if you look at their rosters up and down on paper, the Dodgers are in their own class above the entire league. But then you realize, look at wins and losses and how these teams play on the field, taking into account the intangible. The Mets are a scrappy baseball team. We've known that the whole year. If you take into account how they play, I put the Mets in their tier for sure. But like I said, though, pure talent on paper, Dodgers are in their own level.
I don't know if you can say that, though. Can we really say that? Because
if you really want to break this down, I'm telling you, Dodgers, if you just look at the names and the stats,
I know the names and the stats and the pretty city of Los Angeles and Dodger Stadium. I know all of that, but I'm just saying, we have DeGrom and Scherzer, and they don't. So everything else you want to say, I think it's...
That's all you're going by, though? I mean, they have...
Bro.
No. If you look at the lineup, that's a big part of any baseball team. They have two guys batting one. No, they have three guys, actually, that are capable of being top three in MVP voting this year.
Yeah.
That'll be Betts, Freeman, and Trey Turner.
All right.
Any of those guys could win top three MVP and nobody would complain.
Sure.
The Mets, Alonso, I'd say, is the only guy maybe in the lineup that deserves MVP consideration. I'm not saying the Mets are bad at hitting, but I'm saying they're like that level this year.
Right.
They have three of those guys in that offense.
But you're focusing on the lineup, right? I'm saying when I say tiers, the Mets and Dodgers are in the same tier. I'm talking about how it's going to look postseason time.
Yes.
So you're going to tell me, again, the Dodgers have 2 Cy Young candidates right now. They have Gonsolin and they have Anderson, is it right?
Anderson, yeah. He pitched the other day and Duran beat him.
Yeah, so again, those 2, Cy Young candidates, they're having great seasons.
Yes.
But if you're going to tell me that's an even matchup with DeGrom and Scherzer.
Oh, it's absolutely not.
No, I'm not going for that.
But what I'm saying is their lineup is so much better than any lineup in baseball.
Yeah,
that's a fact.
1 through 9. If you look, their 9 hitters typically, when I was at the game the other day, they had Austin Barnes in for Will Smith. Will Smith got that day off as the catcher.
Yeah.
Austin Barnes is your 9 hitter. I was thinking I would take that. I don't care what team you are. That's your backup catcher, and that guy's capable of getting a big hit at any time.
So you don't consider, and Ross, I'm interested to hear from you too. You wouldn't consider, again, DeGrom and Scherzer. We've seen DeGrom in October. We've seen Max Scherzer in October,
Absolutely.
right? So those 2 are a different beast when you get to that point.
Oh, they're a different animal and the same beast.
All right, Kanye. But that's all I'm saying. Like, I feel like that is just, again, you said the Dodgers' offensive talent, so much more above, well, not so much more, but it's above the Mets.
It's not just the offensive talent, though. It's the whole roster in terms of talent on the baseball team.
Like, we got 2 dogs in that starting rotation.
I'm aware. The top 2 in the Mets starting rotation is best in baseball I've seen in 10 years.
I think it's going to make a difference.
They got to also win when those guys are on the mound. That's
it.
That's a big if. You don't know that. They've shown that they can't at times. I mean, look, they did win with DeGrom pitch against the Dodgers. Give them a lot of credit for that. Give an assist to Brandon for that unbelievable catch.
That was unreal.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
We talked about it yesterday, but I can't stress it enough.
Talk for 10 minutes.
No,
it's one catch.
It was that good a catch, though.
I'm aware. I deserved it.
Catch of the year.
Full speed, crash into the wall, reach up, over the wall, catch it, and then the excitement after, I was, whoo.
Yeah.
You want to know what famous call that deserves whenever in sports? I would love, just because Brandon Nimmo just crashed into a reckless abandon, I want to hear, Brandon Nimmo with no regard for human life.
That would definitely fit, absolutely.
He didn't care about his body. He didn't care if this would break my back. I want to make this catch. And he did it, and it was fine.
And that's what I want to, that's the point I want to make about the Mets. They're just, whatever you want to call it, scrappy, and
they
whatever.
Got grit. That's the word I was using.
Grit. That's a perfect word, grit. And you see it in the lineup. You see it the way they just approach pitchers, even the star pitchers. We talked about Kershaw. He might not be a star anymore. He's more of a name than a star.
The man started the All-Star game, and everyone questioned why. That's just tell you what you need to know.
Yeah, but again, you saw it with Kershaw. You saw it against Anderson. You've seen it against, that series in, I think it was June, July, in L.A.
That was June. Yeah, June was rough.
In June, yeah, that West Coast trip. I think we had just lost.
Scherzer just went down.
Yeah, so... But you saw it. They gritted out. After they lose the first 2 games, they win the next 2. Grit.
Yeah,
that's what I love about this team.
Well, that's why, to me, they need... But they also got to show they're more consistent on offense. The Dodgers, they've shown that consistency. The Mets, we've seen those times where the offense is kind of dreadful.
Yep.
I mean, we've seen that. The Dodgers, they're pretty consistent. So... That's where the lineup for the Dodgers is. I'd put them a little bit better. But look, let's put it this way. If the Mets and the Dodgers squared up in the NLCS and it's a tough series, it goes to 7 or 6 or 7, and they lost to the Dodgers, I would be a little disappointed, but I would not be panicking because I realized that this team took major strides from where they were. You got to remember, it's a different manager, so that's
different ownership,
and you're finally seeing real results, and they can now even get better with that, with some tweaking and 1 or 2 bats, including the bullpen, because that bullpen is going to play a huge factor in the playoffs. Oh yeah, we've seen that with every team that wins championships. So if they don't see. And that's where that could come back and haunt them not fixing that problem.
Let me say, though, I'm not going to sit here after the Mets just took 2 out of 3 from the team with the best record in baseball. I'm not trying to crap on the Mets here.
No, their bullpen, by the way, their bullpen got better this series.
It certainly did, and guys stepped up. Like Givens had a great series. I never thought I would say that against the Dodgers, but Ross said it. Consistency is the key word.
Yeah.
I don't have the exact numbers in front of me. I feel like if you get average runs per game, they'd be within 1 of each other, fairly similar. Sure. But the difference is the Dodgers put that up, that whatever the number is, they probably put close to that up every night.
Yeah.
The Mets will get shut out and then put up 10, and then put up 2, and you're like, you never know what you're getting. It averages out to the same number.
Yeah,
I'd much rather put up 5 or 6 a game every day.
It's the again, the Mets are very resilient, but to be resilient, you got to suck sometimes, right? So,
Exactly. That's the thing. Like, it's really great that they had these big comeback wins, St. Louis and Philly.
Yeah.
The St. Louis comeback was awesome. You got to remember, the reason they got that opportunity is because a 5-time Platinum Glove Award-winning third baseman threw the ball over Paul Goldschmidt's head.
Hey, listen, and people talk about luck. That's the other word we've heard about the Mets.
That one, it started with luck, but then it became grit to keep fighting.
But that's, again, fortune favors the bold, right?
Yeah, you make the most of an opportunity. I don't
Yeah.
consider that one all luck.
To be
Sure, is it luck Arenado's with the ball away? Of course it is.
Yeah.
That guy's automatic.
But to be lucky, you have to be good. You have to put
Absolutely.
yourself in position to be lucky. And I want to come to you, Nico. Where are you on the Mets after this? This is a huge series win, and take into account they have the easiest remaining schedule in baseball.
True.
In September.
Love that.
I think they can win the World Series.
Absolutely.
I think that proves it.
I think
You
they-
win
Them
2 out
beating
of
the
3
Dodgers?
against the best team in baseball.
Yeah. What are they? They're 5-3 against the Dodgers this year.
4-3.
4-3.
Yeah, they played him 7 times, yeah.
4-3.
games.
So
I want to be as optimistic as Nico and you, Josh.
Yeah.
I think they're always in contention for a World Series. And Fangraphs has them at the highest percentage to win the damn thing.
by the can I make a quick point on that and I'll let you go?
Yes.
So Fangraphs has us the highest, like you said, Matt, the highest percentage to win the World Series, but we don't even have a surefire, percentage to win the division. So it's kind of weird.
Well, that's
but-
with the Braves.
Well,
That's
I mean,
Atlanta.
we say it all the time. Baseball playoffs, you get in, it's a crapshoot. You got to get in.
You got to get in.
Braves won last year after winning 88 games in the regular season. Yes, they won the division because the division was dreadful last year.
Right.
Yeah, and
But still, you win 88 games, you barely make a wild card sometimes. They were lucky enough to get in, and they ran all the way to the championship.
and look, it's a matter of who gets hot at the right time.
Yes.
That's what it comes down to. The Braves were hot last year. They won the whole thing. And look, could I see the Braves winning it again? Yeah, I could. They're probably even better than they were last season.
They definitely are.
Oh, yeah.
They're definitely better. And that's factoring they don't even have Freddie Freeman anymore.
Well, Olsen stepped right into that role, and he's been great.
Well, yeah, but
Freddie's having a way better year, but Olsen's been pretty damn good replacement.
yeah, and look, if the Mets won 102 games this season, or whatever amount of wins they have,
Yep.
and they're winning series against these bad teams, and that's not enough, you know, you got to live with it. You got to play the 3 games.
Yeah.
win
You got to
two.
take care of your business. I mean, when you play bad teams, you got to win.
Win your
If you're that
series.
good of a team, at least win the series. Exactly. 3-game series. I'm not saying sweep every bad team, but
Well, yeah.
you got to win 2 out of 3 against teams that are way below 500. You just have to.
Yeah, that's.
If you're
key.
that good?
If you're that good, win those series. Don't have letdowns, and I think they should be okay. I mean, there needs one of these next 3 games against the Nationals. There should be one blowout for the Mets, like one. Just
Them
one.
blowing the Nationals out?
Yeah.
I agree. The Nationals are like a shell of what they were. They weren't good to start the year.
Yeah, they should have one game where it's like 9-1 and you can blow them out. Like that's what I would be expecting.
They've had that against the Nationals, but then, Givens came in and made it close.
Yeah.
His debut, like, Vogelback at a grand slam. Everyone's like, yeah, let's go. We're beating by like 9. Like, I think that game ended a 3-run lead, and I was
Yeah.
like, wow.
You know what's so funny about that game is that I'm just coming back because I had to get something done. That's why I couldn't go to the show that day.
Yep.
So I was coming back from an appointment. I'm like, I just came back from an appointment. I'm not feeling great. Can you just end the damn game already?
Givens, just throw a strike, let him hit it to Lindor, and end the game.
Yeah, like it's not that hard. 1 out. Or you give a home run 1, fine. Just get these next.
I mean,
three
it's
guys out.
his first game with a new team. Want to give up a homer? Fine, you're nervous, whatever.
Yeah.
But then you give him another one and another one. I remember texting. I texted Sean, our station manager. I texted him and I was like, "Are we about to lose this game?" I legitimately thought, as a Mets fan, the trauma started kicking in, and I was like,
Yeah.
"Are we about to lose?"
It was the least encouraging thing that could have happened, even though we won the game. But
He was the big bullpen acquisition, and I was like, "Oh, I have hope." He was great stats in Chicago, underrated signing or underrated trade. And I'm like, "Wow, this guy blows."
the big acquisition from the robust, quote unquote, trade market that Billy Epler was putting out there. But again, we'll see how it goes
that press conference afterwards. That was tough to take.
Yeah.
that was bad.
That had the same energy that we discussed yesterday with Leon Rose after the draft. Hey, we got a plan. We're moving in the right direction. We got a plan.
And by the way, I said good, bad, and the ugly. Guess which one the Knicks are?
I say bad and ugly.
No, the Yankees would, and we're going to get to the Yankees.
Yankees are the bad, okay.
The Yankees are the bad, even though I'm not going to overreact. They still have a 6-game lead, but they still play the Rays.
Yeah, I can't wait till we get to that. I got some thoughts.
Yeah, but the Knicks are the ugly, and we'll definitely get to Leon Rose later in the show. I promise, Knicks fans. 516-572-7440 if you want to chime in. We're talking about the Mets right now. And I want to give a big shout out to what some would call, or who some would call, Mr. 341. Because every time this guy slumps, Francisco Lindor, 341, herder, 341, overpaid. Like, first of all, this guy, do we realize, Fangraphs does a good job, like you said, Matt.
Yeah.
5.6 wins above replacement.
He's having a good season.
That's seventh in the entire MLB.
His F4 is 5.6. Wow.
5.6.
Wow.
For Mr. Overpaid.
Where's he rank with that?
7th in Major League Baseball among position players. That's unreal.
Is Ohtani counted in that?
Yeah, of course.
In position players?
Yeah.
He's a pitcher in DH. Is he counted? I'm asking. I don't know how that works.
That's actually a good question.
He should have his own category because he gets WAR from both sides of the equation.
That's actually a good question.
I don't know.
He's
always got the highest WAR. He gets WAR from two sides.
That's true. That's true.
You say Ohtani's great defensively?
No. Lindor.
I was like, what?
Lindor is good defensively, not Ohtani.
Lindor,
I don't know what he is. Lindor's he's a
for
great
sure,
defender.
for sure.
Yes, Lindor is a great defender. We do have a caller on WHPC Sports Talk. Caller, you're on. What's going on?
Hey, this is Justin driving home right now.
What's up, Justin?
I just saw Jaws in theaters, IMAX, one of my favorite movies. I'm on Cloud 9. I tune into WHPC Sports Talk. So excited to hear you guys celebrate the joyous occasion of the Mets taking 2 of 3 from the Dodgers. And it sounds like a funeral. I don't understand the negativity. I mean, shouldn't we be so excited right now that the Mets just overcame, the hardest stretch of their schedule, relatively unscathed, and now they have a cakewalk. This is the best time I've had as a Met fan, and it just seems like you guys are so, not you, Josh, but Matt, I'm shocked. Obviously, we knew you were going to not be excited for this win, but Matt, I thought you would bring some of that joyousness that Josh was bringing.
I'll tell you, Justin, like I said, I'm very excited the Mets won the series. A big statement win yesterday, especially to win 2 out of 3 over the Dodgers. They still scared the hell out of me.
But you just won 2 out. Your winning record against them this year.
By 1 game.
The thrilling win on Wednesday night. The thrilling win yesterday afternoon.
Yes.
What more do you want? The fashion in which they happened.
I'm not saying you got to sweep them. I'm glad they won 2 out of 3. All I'm saying is the Dodgers are a different animal.
Well, what Ross said. I mean, Ross made a good point that if the Mets ended up losing to the Dodgers in the NLCS, I still look at that season as a positive.
Absolutely.
But you can't look that forward. Right now, I feel like you got to be happy for what happened and enjoy this and stop looking forward to what the inevitable might be. Right now, we should be happy as Mets fans.
I'm right there with that's a great call, Justin. Like this, the fact that we just won 2 out of 3 against a team that's 50 games over 500, and we have the easiest schedule in baseball with the Braves right down our neck. Like this it was a great 3 days for if you're a Mets fan. Unbelievable.
I'll say this: if this was the final series against the Dodgers this year, it was. But if it was that in, let's say, July, I would be a whole different person right now. Because the postseason's right around the corner, and I know the Dodgers are going to be in it, and we're likely going to face them late in the postseason. I'm preparing for, I'm not expecting them to lose. I'm thinking it's going to be a dogfight, and we got to really think, yes, the Mets beat them 2 out of 3, but this isn't going to be easy.
No, it's not. It's not. But what is easy is listening to the Radio Rumble tomorrow.
There we go. There we go.
Thank you, Justin.
Thank you, Justin. Yes. I love I'll let anybody plug this stuff.
I really thought he wasn't gonna do it, and then he just what is easy? I know. Okay, it's about to come out of his mouth. All right.
Yes, Justin Greenberg, Radio Rumble. What time, Matt?
Saturdays 12 to 2.
There we go.
Justin's also on the Nassau Morning Madhouse Tuesday and Thursday 7 to 9 a.m.
I'm not gonna call you out of the take I heard on the Madhouse this week.
Which one?
The one I told you about.
No, you're not. It's right. This is not for this show. We'll talk later.
You're not going to bring it up again on the Madhouse either?
I can bring it up on that again. This isn't the time and place.
If you want to hear what I'm talking about, listen to the Morning Madhouse.
Monday through Friday, 7 to 9 a.m. If you want to hear the madness that is my life.
Yeah, and I before Justin's great call, I brought up Francisco Lindor and just...
I can't believe you even brought that up.
Yeah, but it's true. The second he goes into like a 0 for 20, 1 for 25 slump, it's Francisco Lindor is so overpaid. The Mets are stupid. Look at what they stop, because this guy, what he did yesterday specifically in one of the biggest games of the year, I can go step by step and break it down.
Yep,
and it started with
Please do.
Bassett delivers, curveball, and that's hit hard up the middle. Lindor to his left, flags it down. Backhand flip to second, he got him. Oh, what a play by Francisco Lindor. First to get to it, and then with a backhand flip that was accurate on the bag and directly to McNeil. The Harlem Globetrotters make a cameo appearance at Citi Field here in the fifth.
Great call by Howie Rose, too, with the Harlem Globetrotters. But we talked about it. Lindor he's a master defender.
Of course.
It's incredible how good he is. The hands, and he makes it look easy.
We were talking about Arenado back as a 5-time Platinum Glove winner. Lindor's won that a few times himself. Not as the Met, but when he was in Cleveland, he won that a few times on his own.
And it's funny because every time people bring up Lindor's contract, it's when he struggles offensively. Too many baseball fans take for granted, whether they're trolling or just not knowledgeable about the game.
Yes.
It's a defense and offense. If you're a great defender and you do what Lindor, and by the way, Lindor has 20, he's on pace for 25 home runs, 100 RBIs.
If he God forbid, Lindor gets hurt right now and doesn't play another game this regular season, he's had the best Mets shortstop season in the history of the franchise.
Wow.
If he stopped right now, best offensive season of the Mets shortstop in the history of the team.
Yeah,
Seriously.
And I think he's going to end up being maybe the best shortstop in the Mets history, just because I think he's one of those guys where his defense is going to last a little bit, and I also think the offense is going to keep getting better. I mean, and the offense got better this year. I mean, the first year, if you really look at it, the first 2-3 months for Lindor as a Met last year was a disaster. Yeah. That was bad.
Absolutely.
And then the last 3-4 months of the year, he was okay. And then this year, the first 2 weeks was unbelievable. It was really good. Then he got into a slump, and since then he's been very good. He's been consistent. So that's, as long as you're getting the defense and you're getting the power, you're fine with it. If he's coming up big in the clutch, you take it.
He's been doing that most of this year.
Yeah.
And the one thing that's been consistent with Lindor this year, he's driven in runs. He's found a way to drive in runs, and here was a big one yesterday.
And Lindor cracks that one to right center field. Thompson won't get it. That ball's up the gap and all the way to the wall. Marte digging for third. He's being waved home by Joey Cora. He will score without a throw, and it's time. Francisco Lindor with the RBI double, chasing home Marte to tie the game at 2.
This man hits a frozen rope to right center field to tie the game, and then this.
Lindor dancing off the bag. He's running. The throw to third by Smith, and Lindor saves. Lindor steals third. Number 15 for Lindor, and none bigger. Go ahead run at third with 1 out.
So at this point, what can't this guy do, right? He's driving in game-tying runs. He's making game-saving defensive plays, and he's stealing bases. And that, my friend, set up this.
Here's the pitch. Breaking ball hit high in the air to left field, pretty deep. Taylor going back into the corner on the track, reaches up, makes the catch. Lindor tags. He sprints home from third with a go-ahead run. Sacrifice fly for Darren Ruff. The Mets are leading by a score of 3-2. Darren Ruff gets it done. They didn't have to get a hit. That's the beauty of that stolen base.
I feel like it's a subtle shot at Darren Ruff.
It is. Because he
didn't have to get a hit. Lindor manufactured the run on his own. And Darren Ruff getting out still got a run.
That man been struggling as a Met, but he got it done yesterday. And
real quick on Darren Ruff, very quick. Mm-hmm. If anybody at home wants to look up J.D. Davis stats as a Giant, it'll make you want to leave the Mets fandom. I'm telling you right now.
Would happen. I told you that would happen.
We were doing the show, and his first at bat as a Giant is a bomb.
I told you that would happen. I knew it. I just knew it.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, when he first got traded, I think everybody was like, "Get him out of here." And
me too.
And I still think the Mets made their correct decision.
Yes, you cannot regret it based on his performance.
No, you can't. And you got to remember too, he's on the Giants. There's no pressure there.
They're going to lose 90 games. There's no pressure. Right.
Yeah, and if
Giants suck, Josh.
If he's hitting home runs for losing teams, I don't care.
The Giants are a losing team. That is true.
So if he hits a home run in a losing game, I don't care. I can care less.
Man,
that doesn't matter to me. If they're losing games 10-5 and he hits a 2-run homer, I don't care.
Yeah,
you're right.
I thought the San Francisco Giants are going to be so much better than they are, but that's besides the point, right? The point is, Francisco.
This is like an inverse of what you predicted somehow.
Yeah,
they're going to lose as many games as they would win.
Oh wow! It's not. Yeah, it's that bad.
It's that bad.
It's that bad. I'll take the L on that. It's okay. But the point is Francisco Lindor, because if people want to say he's overpaid, he did everything possible in like a 2-inning stretch to help the Mets win that game.
Oh, for sure.
One of the biggest games of the year against the mighty Dodgers, right? Yep. Like, let's lay off. And again, I'm the guy who gets on Julius Randle for the Knicks, who we'll get to later, who gets on Garrett Cole of the Yankees, who get big money and don't quite live up to it. But
a lot of guys in New York especially take the money and just disappear.
I'm here to
happens.
I'm here to tell you that it might have seemed that way for Francisco Lindor last year.
It was an adjustment period.
This year has been completely different.
It's one thing with Randall and Cole, the guys you mentioned, because Randall, if you want to go down that road, had a great year. Mm-hmm. Well, if the thing is, Lindor got to New York and got the money at the same time. That's the similarity between him and Cole. Randall was here, not making a ton of money, making good money. Had a great year, won Most Improved Player. Knicks were a 4 seed to give him a big contract. Then he's Julius Randle that we know and love. Then that's a whole separate situation. I feel like he was more of the money.
Yeah.
Garrett Cole got the money when he got to New York. Was amazing. Now that he's settled in, is starting to show like what did we pay for? Yeah. Lindor is like the way you should do it. Adjustment period when you come to this big of a market and all the media attention is necessary for sure. But just. He is everything you imagine and more this year.
Absolutely.
When we made that trade. For sure.
Listen, and the Mets are the good. Like I said to start the show, we brought up Garrett Cole. We brought up Julius Randle. We still got the bad and the ugly to get to after this break. What do we got to do, Matt?
Pay some bills.
Back after this.
Keep the water
show on 90.3 WHPC is brought to you by CarStar Celebrity Chase Collision, with 2 locations in Limerick and Oceanside, who remind you that New York State law says you always have the right to choose which shop will fix your car. CarStar Celebrity Chase Collision offers a full range of services, 24-hour towing between Montauk and Manhattan, shuttle service, and they can help you with a rental car arrangement if needed. All repairs include the CarStar Lifetime Nationwide Warranty, ensuring that the experts at Celebrity Chase Collision are always on your side.
Sí, hablamos español.
More information is available at 516-593-0920 or online at celebritychasecollision.com.
This show is brought to you by On the Road Again Motorcycle School. Hi, I'm Steve Bertolini, the president of On the Road Again Motorcycle School, and I'd like to tell you that life is short, so live a little by learning how to ride a motorcycle. Classes are available from beginner riders to advanced, including private lessons. Lessons are offered on the campuses of Nassau Community College and Suffolk Community College, also offering the license waiver class, where you can skip the DMV. More information about On the Road Again Motorcycle School can be found at 631-862-RIDE. That's 631-862-RIDE. Or online at LRN2ride.com.
Celebrating 50 years of radio at Nassau Community College
by being named a finalist for the 2022 Best College Radio Station and a B. Marconi Award.
Voice of Nassau Community College.
This is the award-winning 90.3 WHPC HD Garden City.
Listen on your smart speaker.
Play WHPC.
And available on Odyssey, TuneIn, iHeart, and on the WHPC app.
90.3 WHPC.
Welcome back into WHPC Sports Talk. Once again on the voice of Nassau Community College, 90.3 WHPC. That's the theme for today, fellas. The good, the bad, and the ugly. Once again, Joshua Umahi joined by Ross Levine, Nico Each, and Matt Leonard.
Josh, I gotta tell you.
Here we go.
This studio ain't big enough for the two of us. Dadgummit. I'm done.
That's you sure you didn't want to go for longer?
I do, but I can't say half the words I want to say.
Oh, okay.
Varmint. I want to say that one. I don't know why I want to say that. Varmint's a fun word.
It is. It is a fun word. Very, very fun word.
Dadgummit.
Once again, 516-572-7440. That is the number to call. We got to the Mets. We started with them in the first block.
Yeah.
And they beat the Dodgers once again 2 out of 3. It just goes to show you they put themselves, and we talked about it. Even if we didn't know what was going to happen. If they lost this series, they still have the easiest remaining schedule. You had that to fall back on. But this is outstanding momentum to go into, to start September, and to get into a series with the lowly Washington Nationals and just cruise on to October. And I kind of want to start with this question, fellas. Do we think with that series win and, like I said, Mets' easiest remaining strength of schedule. Now,
Yes.
the Braves have an easy schedule, too.
Yeah.
The Braves have a
Not
very
as easy, but yes.
Not as easy.
They're good, though, so it's going to be easy.
Right. But the Mets with a 3-game lead as we enter September. Do we think the division just got wrapped up?
No.
No.
I don't think so.
That's the reaction I expected.
I would like to say yes.
I'm
but
with
no.
him. I would love to say yes.
But I'm going to say no. I think they're going to win their series. The question is, are the Braves going to sweep their series? I think the Mets are going to win series. Now, I do think you may see the Braves win some games that they're not supposed to. Mm-hmm. That's very possible. And look, even if the Mets, all you got to do is win series. That's all you can control. And I hope they do that. I hope there's no letdown. And they will win the division if they are consistently good offensively. Then they will win the division. Then it's a wrap. I will say it's a wrap then.
They can win the World Series. They figure that out.
Yeah.
Easily.
Yeah.
That's the missing. That and the bullpen are the missing pieces. The offense has the capability to perform, but consistency's been the thing.
Yeah.
So here's my follow-up question.
Yes.
So the Mets have 30 games remaining, right?
Yep.
And matter of fact, for those that don't know just how easy this Mets schedule is,
It's been 132 games. Wow. Think about that. They have 30 left. That means they've played 132.
Yeah.
It's been that long?
It's been a wild ride this season, man.
Wow.
So they got the Nationals this series. And let me pull their schedule.
Series
up
win.
now. Yeah.
I'm going to tell you if I think split win or whatever.
Okay, so, all right, let's do that then.
How many games against the Nets? 3 or 4?
3.
Win, possible sweep. Go on.
Okay. Pirates at Pittsburgh. Sweep. For 3.
I'm not going to. I'm going 2 out of 3.
Yeah,
Pirates are scrappy too.
I'm going to say 2 out of 3 too. Yes.
Okay. We got 3 against the Marlins.
2 out of 3. I'm going to say the Mets win 2 out of 3.
I'm going to say 3 against the Marlins?
Yeah. I think the Mets are going to win 2 out of 3.
If they get stuck without Contra like they always do, they may lose that series, but it'll be close.
Okay. Then we got...
Definitely not a sweep on either side, though.
Okay. We got the Cubs for 3.
Series win.
2 out of 3.
2 out of 3.
2 out of 3.
No sweep, but series win.
4 against the Pirates at home.
At Citi Field.
Sweep.
Yeah.
I'm going to say 3 out of 4.
3 out of 4.
Yeah.
I like Nico's energy. Yeah, I love the energy.
We got the Brewers at Milwaukee for 3.
I actually think they're going to lose 2 out of 3.
Okay.
I had a crazy hot take. I'm going to go sweep on this one.
You think we're going to sweep the Brewers?
Because the Mets do that late in the year. They'll lose a series like the Marlins or the Pirates. Then they'll go into Milwaukee and sweep the Brewers when they shouldn't.
Like I said,
there's always that one weird series where you're like, we have no business sweeping this series. We just did that.
To be resilient, like I said, you got to suck sometimes. So that fits right in line with that.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, the Brewers series, and then we go to Oakland for 3.
Sweep.
Yeah.
Confident sweep.
I'm going to say 2 out of 3.
They'll do what the Yankees could not.
Well, because it's the West Coast.
Absolutely.
West Coast, and I think it's always tricky. I think they're going to win 2 out of 3. I could see a sweep, though.
It is the West Coast, but keep in mind where you're going. It isn't like going to the Dodgers.
Oh, I agree.
It isn't going to play the Angels. I say this every time a New York team goes to Oakland. You're playing in front of 5,000 people, and half of them are your fans.
Yes.
Yeah.
No,
the 7 Line's going out there. They're going to sweep the series.
I'm going to say 2 out of 3, but I hope for a sweep.
Of course, yeah.
Listen, I'll say they better sweep the A's.
What else they got?
They got 2 against the Marlins at home.
2? That's weird.
Yeah, I know.
Is that a make-up thing from the lockout, you think? That's weird.
Gotta be.
Doubleheader or no?
No. Tuesday, Wednesday.
That's very bizarre. Middle of the week, 2-game series is very weird.
Yeah.
Sweep. Because it's 2.
Okay. I'm going to say sweep.
They'll lose the first Marlins series of 3 in Miami. They'll sweep that one.
Then,
make up for it.
After that, fellas, they got the huge series that could decide the division against Atlanta.
If the Mets are playing as well as we predict and they're winning all these series and sweeping some, I really think if they're playing on that level, the division will be wrapped up by the time they go into Atlanta.
Yeah.
If they play this well. Do I think that'll happen? No, they'll lose some here and there. Every team loses. I'm praying, though, they go into Atlanta with a big enough lead, and it's the second to last series of the year. Imagine they go into Atlanta with like a 6 or 7 game lead, and basically the Braves could sweep them and win out, the Mets could get swept and lose out, and they still win the division. How nice would that feel?
I want to be in a position where if they're playing the Braves, I could listen to music. I don't care.
Close your eyes, and it won't matter what the result of the game is, the division's over.
Yeah, that's what I'm hoping.
That'd be nice.
Yes.
I want to clinch the division before that series happens. I would love that.
It would be nice.
Wouldn't it be great if you clinch the division during that series? You get to celebrate in their locker room. Wouldn't that be fun? They're jumping them down the field, the champagne in the Braves locker room in Atlanta. Oh, now I'm getting greedy and kind of petty, but this is awesome.
See, now you're making me petty now.
That's the dream. That's the dream.
It would be nice for the Mets to wrap up this thing before that series, but man, could you imagine?
That is the dream.
Defending champions, and we celebrate in their dugout. In their clubhouse, I mean.
Yes,
oh, my goodness.
Celebrate everywhere.
Jump
into the stands. Jump into the stands and jump up and down with the Mets fans that are there and tell the Braves fans, you know what?
I might need that. That would make the series against the Nationals to end the season irrelevant.
You could literally rest everybody in the Nationals series and it wouldn't matter.
Yeah.
Could you imagine the National Series comes around, they finally call up Vientos for the National Series, and it's like, we don't care anymore.
By the way, I'm actually, again, they called up Terrence Gore, who again had a big base.
Love that move.
And you talk about the Mets this year have stolen more bases than we've been accustomed to watching. But if this guy,
it's all Buck.
This guy's gonna make a difference in September.
Oh yeah,
I promise you that.
Terrence Gore, I forgot the numbers 2 or 3. He's got a bunch of World Series rings, not a bunch, more than you'd think, because he's never had a World Series plate appearance. Isn't that crazy?
That's wild.
He's only been like that Billy Hamilton pinch run and roll on these big championship teams, but he's never had a World Series at bat, and the guy's won 2 or 3 championships.
It just goes to show you can steal bases, and he has whatever you want to call it, no at bats in the World Series.
It's true.
It's playoff and championship experience.
Oh, absolutely. He knows in the big spots what you got to do, and he knows his role. He's like that role player on the bench.
Right.
I got to give a little bit of a shout out in that series against LA. There's this one guy, and it's weird for me to I never thought I'd be saying.
Is it a Dodger?
No.
Oh, yeah, they're really weird.
I know who you're going to say.
Adam Ottavino. He was unbelievable.
Wait a second.
Yes, about the Mets bullpen.
I was going to say,
yes.
I want to get this right. Adam Ottavino is a relief pitcher in the Mets bullpen, right? I'm correct?
Yeah.
And Ross just gave a shout out to a Mets reliever not named Edwin Diaz.
Yeah, Ottavino was
He has really, really stepped it up. And we talk about
Ross Ottavino.
We talk about the Mets bullpen in 2015 and who was the slept-on addition? Addison Reed.
Yeah.
I was wondering after a while. I was wondering in May and June
who would be that guy?
Who's going to step up and be the 2022 Mets Addison Reed?
If you look at Ottavino's stats, though, he had a bad May. Everything else has been this level, though.
Yeah, he's been.
People don't realize that April was okay. May was rough. From June on, this guy was really, really good.
May, everyone was terrible in the Mets bullpen, pretty much, except Diaz.
Yeah, but
May was a really bad month.
Either way, though, since June 1st, this guy has been lights out. And they don't pitch him nearly as much as they should.
Yeah, it isn't
like Lugo where he can't go back-to-back days and lose effectiveness. No, this guy's a professional.
He has really stepped it up. I'm so impressed by that guy.
And they're not paying him much. It's 1 year, $4 million. It's a bargain for what they're.
That's why, I really must give a shout out to the New York Yankees for ruining Adam Ottavino and letting us get him at a good price.
And the Red Sox.
I'm totally serious.
Red Sox too. He was on the Red Sox, and
that's right. He's been since the Rockies. He's been everywhere.
Yeah, and he was good in the last year with the Rockies. He wasn't good the year prior.
That's right. He was their closer. He was an all-star. I remember that. But wow.
Yeah, I mean, look, they have a lot of free agents in their bullpen, the Mets.
Yes. Is Ottavino free agent? Yes, right?
Yeah. Well, I'd bring him back, and I would bring Diaz back. Those are the two.
Jeff Passan's talking about Diaz be the first $100 million closer in history.
No.
I honestly say, DeGrom's the priority, right?
Yeah.
Let's see how that plays out. And if Diaz starts getting antsy, he wants $100 million, Steve, do it. Do it.
You would give him $100 million?
I would depending on the amount of years. If it's $100 million 2 years, no. $100 million over 5? Yes.
Well, you don't. Who else could really fill in that role?
That's the point. Diaz is the best closer in baseball at this moment in time.
This team without Edwin Diaz, I do not want to live in.
And also, we talk about cult heroes of the Mets all the time. Edwin Diaz is pretty much the only cult hero of the Mets that is actually that level, dominant, amazing.
Yeah.
I love Bartolo. I love Vogelbach. I love all those guys. But the real honest truth is Diaz is the best at his position in the game, and he has that fan affection behind him. The trumpets, man. That's the best thing in baseball this year. It's the best story of the year.
I'll say it again. I said this yesterday, but just as an aside, if we do that whole Timmy Trumpets thing last year, when the vibes were just terrible.
Oh, he gives up a game-winning homer.
He's blowing that save, man. I don't care what you say. He's blowing that save.
I told you guys, I went to that Pete Alonso Night of Comedy thing. It was really good at the Paramount. Great charity event. Well done by Pete. Carton and Roberts did a great job hosting it. Really good job. But Jim Brewer had this whole bit about Edwin Diaz. It's so true. I told you this off the air. I'll censor it because Jim Brewer's a little raunchy. A little bit's an understatement.
Yes,
he's like, this whole bit, and I won't take too much time on this, but he's like, you guys remember Diaz in 2019 when he first got here? He's like, if those kids, he's like, he has an arm motion like he's throwing a ball, and he goes, bing! That's not good. It's a homer. Bing! There's another one. Game's over. Every time he came in, he goes, then he walked into Steve Cohen's office, he bought the team and goes, I need horns. Give me horns, and I'll start pitching well. And he was, Edwin Diaz is the best closer in baseball. There you go, folks.
He has been. We talked about wins above replacement. for a closer, he has to be up there for real. He has been so incredible.
As far as relievers go, the K per 9 number, people don't realize how insane that is.
What is it at now? I
don't know K per 9, but I know the percentage is over 55.
Wow.
And I tell people, they go, 55 is not that high, and I go, people think it's outs recorded is 55. No. It's batters faced, including guys he walks, including guys that get hits, guys that he hits by a pitch and they get on. All the batters faced, he struck out over half. If you go by the outs, he's almost at 70.
And you saw him yesterday. He was angry on that strike.
The 103 I was like, wow, this guy's ready.
He's electric, man. And I'll close the Mets topic on this.
I want Diaz to close out the World Series at home with the trumpets blaring. I'm telling you. If for some reason the Mets end up winning, not for some reason, if by some miracle, I just say that. If the Mets win the World Series at Citi Field, right? Winning the World Series in their own possibility, winning at Citi Field, you never know where you're going to win in the World Series.
Right.
So we just have enemy territory, which is whatever. But if they win in front of their fans and Diaz throws the final pitch, I want them blaring the trumpets all night until everybody walks out of the ballpark.
I'm 20,
on loop.
I'm 25, so I'll say this. If that happens, I might be hungover for 2 weeks on the show.
Whenever the Mets parade is, we're taking the day off. Sorry, Sean.
Yeah. Sorry, Sean. It's
we're going to the parade.
But yeah, the Mets, we know that if they just go 20-10, they win 104 games.
I wanted you to bring that up. I saw that. That's amazing.
That's crazy. 20-10 is all we need to do.
104.
Of 104 wins.
20 shouldn't all we need to do. With the schedule we have coming up, yes, that seems like easy.
That's the minimum.
No. But 20-10 means you win 2 out of 3 of every series you play. Think about that.
Yeah, just win 2 out of 3.
You divide 20-10 by 10, you get 2 out of 3.
And that's what the Mets have done all season long, win series. So, hey, if you're a Mets fan, gear up. It's going to be a fun September.
They'll win 100. I would bet money they win 100.
Yeah, I'll place that bet right now. Yeah.
Imagine losing your division, winning 100 games. I don't want to put that into the world. Could you imagine?
See, we got good vibes. You want to bring that bad juju over here?
That would literally be like the NL Central that year. The Cardinals won 100, the Pirates won 99, the Cubs won 98, and they were the 2 wild cards.
Yeah.
You are listening to WHPC Sports Talk on the voice of Nassau Community College, 90.3 WHPC. And Joshua Umahi, joined by Ross Levine, Nico Each. I'm used to having Corey in that seat, man.
Corey, we miss you. Come back. Corey's in Texas.
Sorry, Nico. Sorry. I didn't mean to replace you in spirit. Nico Each.
You didn't say Nico David. That would have worked, too. It was Corey David's his name, so.
Yes.
That would have worked.
And Matt Leonard. Now,
Thank you.
516-572-7440. All right, Matthew.
If anybody's not watching Facebook Live, I'm visibly disappointed in Josh.
516.
Not even upset. I'm disappointed.
Nah, I'm used to it. 516-572-7440 is the number to dial. We got to the good. We got through the good. We're feeling good right now. Feel Good Friday. Well, it's time to just crap all over that.
Wow.
Well, not really, because the New York Yankees are still a very, very good team. They just haven't been good lately.
Yeah,
Yes.
they're in, being 3-4 on that road trip is not good. It's not.
For the teams you had to face, that's really an embarrassment.
It's bad.
I'm talking with the Mets, take care of business, beat bad teams. The Yankees really needed to do that, and they did not.
You know, I remember we did a show, I think it was last week. I'm like, if you split against the Athletics, that's sad. But I was just talking smack. Like, I didn't think it would actually happen.
Oh, come on. They're not going to split with the A's. They do. That's pathetic. And then they did that.
They did it, and then they go to Anaheim and lose 2 out of 3. And now you're in a situation where you play, first off, you have a 6-game lead, but you play the Tampa Bay Rays in 6 of the next 10 days.
Oh my goodness!
Thank you, Susan.
Thank you, Susan.
I don't like the chances. I don't like the chances for them. They don't play well in the Trop usually, and they don't. I mean, they don't even.
Being in the Trop, whether you win or lose, is unpleasant. But yeah,
and they don't even play well in Yankee Stadium against the Rays. To be fair, but I don't see. The Rays have always had the Yankees number for years, and I just think I think the Rays are going to win 2 out of 3. I really do. I don't see the Yankees all of a sudden just turning it up and being like, "Oh, we're back." No, it's not going to happen that way. I just don't. I don't. And look, if the Rays were smart, which I think they're pretty smart, they should walk Judge, and they should walk him every single time. That's what they should do. They're probably not going to do that, but they should do that because there is no protection in that lineup.
It's interesting you say that because that's exactly where I was going to go. We'll get to the rotation a little bit, but the offense is just falling off a cliff.
Let's talk about inconsistent offense.
It's just ebbs and flows, and it's the same streaky behavior they showed all of last year.
Oh, yeah.
And it's really like it's coming back now after you were convinced they were on a historic pace, and their offense is pretty consistent.
They were convinced they were.
Because their offense was consistent. Judge was consistently not even just great. Like
beyond that,
unbelievable,
historically good.
Yeah, and again, he's still chasing that home run record.
Roger Maris, 61.
Yes, but man, it's back. Like I said, the same streaky behavior, and that has to be concerning leading into October again.
I have a weird Judge question.
Yeah,
we will never know if this is going on because it's what goes on inside Aaron Judge's head, but. Remember when Pete Alonso was going for the rookie home run record?
Yeah.
And he got really cold in early September because he was trying so hard to hit bombs?
Oh, of course.
Do you think Judge, because it's bigger this year, one, it's the AL record, more importantly, the Yankee record, it's Roger Maris. He's going for that. And obviously it's bigger because he has the contract situation coming up in a month or two. Do you think it's going to his head? Like, I got to break this record. I got to get more money. I got to get all the fame and all this. That's going to Aaron Judge's head, or you think he's just slumping like he does?
I will say that it's possible, but not because of the home run chase, the record chase. Because he's had such a historically great season.
Yeah.
And I always say this, like regression to the mean. I don't think he's going to just fall off a cliff in September, but wouldn't it be reasonable to expect like a little fall off for a guy that hasn't had like hasn't had a real slump this year?
Yeah, it's due to happen. It's absolutely due to happen. I think Judge he's obviously aware of him being a free agent, and I think he knows that he's trying to get as much money as he possibly can. So I do think that plays a factor, but I think it's part of it because there's not a lot of protection in the lineup. That's why he may struggle because of that reason. Because maybe he'll fish some pitches in the dirt. I don't know, but I always thought this about Judge as the year has gone on. I didn't think this earlier. I think Judge is gone. I think Judge is going to the Giants. I don't think he's going to be a New York Yankee after this season.
I don't think the Giants are it. I thought that for a while. They'll be a contender. I think if he leaves, I can't guarantee it'll be the Giants.
I think he wants to go home, though. I do think he wants to go to California, where he's
Why is nobody talking about that the Angels may be up for sale this offseason? They may get a new owner that's not named Artie Moreno, friend of the show, by the way.
Friend of the show.
Yeah, Artie Moreno may sell the Angels, and they may want to go, all in. Because a lot of new owners do. Steve Cohen did it. I'm not saying that person has as much money as Steve Cohen. Not many owners do. But, think about this. The Angels love to spend money. Typically, it's stupid money.
Are you going where I think you're going?
What? No? Like I said, they're going to sign Judge, all I'm going to say.
That's where you're going?
Yeah, they'll have ditch Rendon or something, trading somewhere.
So you
get rid of the salary.
You think they want to put together Ohtani, Trout, and Judge?
Why would you not? If you have the resources, why would you not?
I understand that. I'm just saying, that's insane. That's crazy.
Talk about super teams and big threes, right? Imagine that outfield of just Trout and Judge. And by the way, whoever the Angels put in that third spot, they have some pretty good, as far as third outfielders go, that'd be a great outfield.
It would be.
They'll still miss the playoffs, though.
They'll find a way.
Probably.
They'll find a way.
Judge will get hurt. I love how we forget. Judge having a great year, a healthy year, God bless him. Having a great contract year and all. We're forgetting that Aaron Judge used to get hurt every year for half a season. Yeah, he's healthy this year. I mean, I get he's going to get money based on this year, and he should. He absolutely should. What if he goes to the West Coast and in April he blows out his knee or his back breaks or something?
Wow.
I'm not wishing that on him. I'm not. But we've seen, if you look at Aaron Judge's career historically, this is not the norm.
It's not.
When healthy, of course it is. He's been healthy, God willing. But the norm for Aaron Judge is miss half a year with injury.
And that's, to that point, to circle this back to the Yankees, and Ross, you brought up the protection for Judge. Giancarlo Stanton is back healthy. And
he's not protecting Judge.
He has not been great since he came back.
No, and look, Stan, that's the problem with Stanton is when pitchers, you can get him to chase. And as you face the better pitchers, they're going to figure that out. So Stan's, we all know when he first comes back off an injured list, he's not great. I don't see him getting better. He may get a little bit better because he's a power hitter, but I don't know. Stan, to me, just God, that contract. I don't love it. I'm sorry. I'm not. I know he's had 40 home runs. That's great, but he gets hurt every year, and it just...
He gets hurt way more than Judge.
Oh, absolutely. Well,
he gets hurt multiple times a year.
Well, they're big guys, so that's that always leads to more injury.
I think Stanton's swing, for the size he is and the amount of muscle he has, is way too violent.
Well, with the Marlins, he got hurt all the time.
I'm saying, though, Stanton's swing mechanics are so violent for a guy that has that much intricate, muscle, whatever, and... I don't know. I just think, I'm not saying change his swing, because if it ain't broke, don't fix it. But if he keeps breaking down, you really got to think about that. He's changed his stance and his swing multiple times in his career. Nothing seems to help, because that guy swings the hardest anybody's ever seen.
Are we aware that Giancarlo Stanton has a career low OPS this year?
What is it?
776.
That's a career low for him?
That's a career low for him.
I'm actually impressed by that. I know that's about average, but the fact that his career low is average is very impressive.
It's impressive in that way, but...
you got to really look at this year and you're like, hey...
that's troubling.
Didn't he start the All-Star game or something? He did, right?
Yeah.
But wow. Fan voting's got to go.
He's got 24 homers, and that's good, but...
Tatis was 5th on the shortstop ballot.
Yeah, that's
the craziest part about that.
That's crazy. R.I.P. Fernando Tatis. You ain't died.
All right.
you ain't died. You just dumb.
You're dead in my heart, Fernando.
Yes.
I can say that confidently. He's dead to me now.
But a career low OPS for Giancarlo Stanton. He made the All-Star game, 24 home runs, but isn't that concerning to?
I don't think it's gonna get better. I don't think it's gonna get better as the contract goes along. I don't think that. Look, he's still always going to be a power hitter. He's going to hit 35, 40 home runs. There's nothing wrong with the player. I don't know if he's going to age well. That worries me with him. How old is he now? I mean, he's in his
early 30s.
Yeah,
32 at most.
Yeah, he is definitely not aging well. It just I don't see it. He gets hurt every season. Even if, let's say, he's always going to have that 2-week stretch where he's hot. That happens all the time.
You hope that happens in October, though. It could happen. He's carried the Yankees in October before.
Yeah, I just don't know.
Remember, he got him that postseason berth a few years ago. The division, basically, when he went and got crazy in Boston. Remember that?
Yeah, I just don't. I don't know if I trust him with that swing that's going to last. I mean, look, it happens. I mean, look what happened with pitchers. I mean, guys throw 100 consistently. At some point, you're going to break down. It happens with hitters, too.
Absolutely. DeGrom's the same thing. I know we're dumping on the Yankees here, but DeGrom's the exact same thing. His mechanics are very violent and very taxing on the body. The human body is not meant to throw 102 consistently as much as DeGrom does. Reliever is one thing. Throw 100 pitches and like 60 of them are 102 miles an hour. Human body is meant to withstand that. I don't care how good of an athlete you are. You're going to break down.
Yeah. That's what kind of happened with Josh Hader.
Oh, yeah, big time.
He has just...
His mechanics are... it's an old term, but he's herky-jerky with his mechanics. That's the definition of that term.
And I was like, for the Mets, get Josh Hader. Now, nope.
I was also last year about get Josh Hader. This year, I didn't want to go near him with a 10-foot pole. Even before he was traded, I thought to myself, he's not having a great year. There's potential either, he could come here and be, oh, wow, but then he's coming to New York. So I thought, if he came here, he'd be coming to New York. And I was like, we have Diaz. This is not a good idea. And I was right, because look what happened now.
Hey, I wasn't even thinking about Josh Hader. I don't know what
this year is not on my radar, but in the past I wanted him bad.
Well, I always heard about David Stearns, and I
want him still.
Well, it still could happen.
Yeah, the clause in his contract. He can talk to the Mets after the year, and they may offer him a president of baseball ops position, but still keep Epler as GM. That'd be great. That'd be a dream scenario. And they know each other. They're good friends.
Yeah, he knows Hader pretty well from Milwaukee. So I mean,
don't bring him here.
Well, I know, but like if you brought, you gotta remember, there's a lot of free agents on this bullpen. Like you may have a need for a Josh Hader.
Ross, I'm gonna make a bold statement right now.
I hope they don't get him now. I'm just.
If we're talking about people David Stearns knows that you could bring here, I would rather take Ryan Braun out of retirement.
Okay.
Have him play left field every day.
Okay.
Than get Josh Hader here. With how he looks right now, I don't want that problem.
But that's right now. Look at his career.
Wow.
But this is the most recent we've seen him, and it's in a pennant race, and it's going to be a contending team. I don't want that. I don't want Diaz in 2019, but in the eighth inning.
Just saying it's a possibility. That's all.
It is, and I don't like that.
They have who would you keep outside of Diaz and maybe
in the bullpen? That are impending free agents.
Yeah, who would you keep?
Who's the list? Him, Ottavino.
Yeah.
Drew Smith is staying. We know that he's under contract.
Okay. Do you really trust Drew Smith anyway? No.
I would keep him though if he's under contract. He's probably a rookie deal still.
Well, yeah.
You're not paying him anything. Keep him. What do you have to lose?
All right. You have Drew Smith. Okay.
Trevor May. I don't know when his contract is up, but I'd let him go.
He's up after this year.
Good. Bye, Trevor May. Bye.
He actually looked pretty good yesterday, but okay.
Yeah, he looked good, but yeah, him and Givens
I don't trust
scare
him,
me.
I know, but he scares me.
Givens, I believe we have a little more control over, right? One more year or something?
Yeah.
Oh, happy,
No.
happy days.
I'm okay with that. Maybe in the offseason he can work on himself and figure it out. Maybe he needs some time off. Who knows? Maybe he figured it out now. He looked great in the Dodgers series.
Okay, fair enough.
Maybe he needed that to be trusted by Buck, which I was so against. So maybe he needed that. He was a closer in Baltimore early in his career. People forget about that.
That's people forget about his past connection with Buck too. That's true.
Yeah, and Buck knew him from Baltimore, so I'm sure Buck knows the guy. And we talk about pitchers or head cases. Relief pitchers are no different. Remember when Diaz used to be put into the 7th or 8th, and we're like, okay, high leverage situation, put in Edwin Diaz. 10 runs later, Mickey Callaway goes, okay, let's make a pitching change.
I will close the Yankees topic with this question. So, like I said, 6 games in the next 10 days against the Rays. They have a 6-game lead in the division right now. It's kind of funny how that all lined up. So I'm going to go around the room. Where do you guys think the AL East lead will be for the Yankees after
these 10 days?
These 10 days.
I'm going to say 3.
That's 6 right now. You're going to go 3?
I'm going to say 3. I think it's cut in half.
Wow.
Nico, it's 6 right now. They play the Rays 6 times in 10 days.
And by the way, they play their favorite team, the bully, the Minnesota Twins, in the middle of that. So
I didn't know that.
Keep that in mind too. It's an important detail.
They're getting a free sweep in the middle of this. Come on.
So keep that in mind.
I'm gonna go 2.
2.
Whoa!
So you think the Rays are going to really take advantage of these 6 games?
I think so.
I love his second show when he's coming in hot. I love that.
And it could happen. It could very well happen.
I guess it's in the realm of possibility. It's 6 right now. There's 6 against the Rays. What's the schedule? Rays, Twins, Rays. That's it?
Yep.
It's 9 games or 10 games?
10 games.
10 in 10 days.
4 against the Twins. Yeah.
Oh. They don't get a break. 4.
4, okay.
Final answer of 4. So I think the Twins are 3 wins. 4 against Twins or 3? Minnesota.
4 games.
Okay, that's 4 free wins. Who are the Rays playing those days?
Oh, I have to find that out. Actually, let me.
That's actually a big
That's
thing
a big,
here.
big detail. Let me.
'Cause if the
find
Rays
that.
can win 3 out of 4 while the Yankees are beating up their punching bag, then that could be huge. But
They play the Sox.
White
The Red
Sox or Red Sox?
Red Sox.
Red Sox. Oh, this is getting interesting.
That too.
Here's the thing: nobody mentioned this. You mentioned it yesterday. Nobody mentioned it today. They got 9 games against Toronto left. Nobody mentions that.
Yeah, and
Toronto lately in the last month or so, and the Yankees have been bad, have killed them head to head. Killed them.
They're so disappointing.
They are.
But their lineup is so deep. If even 2 of those guys get hot, they're such good hitters.
Yeah, but
if, let's say, Vlad and then maybe Springer or Bichette, somebody gets hot, they can be carried.
I thought they'd be better. I really did. And look, I know
Gosman's been falling off a cliff.
Well, that's been the problem.
He was the Cy Young favorite before Verlander really got going.
Yeah.
Gosman fell off.
Well, that's been the problem. But also, they changed managers, and I do think that will help them long term.
I have very rarely seen a team that switched managers mid-season go on to be very successful that year.
They have a better relationship with John Schneider.
Of course, but I'm saying it's rare a team makes a managerial change mid-season and it sparks in like a World Series or something.
No, it doesn't happen. I mean, look at the Phillies. They changed their manager, and they probably
They're playing way better since Girardi got canned, but they're not going to win the World Series.
No, and lately they've not looked great. I mean, they did show against the Diamondbacks, and
I would say
I could see the Phillies
the Phillies bullpen being what they are. That's what it is.
Yeah, and
you're down 7. You're up 7-0.
And yeah,
you lose 13-7. If you lose 8-7 on a walk-off and they narrowly escape you, fine. The Diamondbacks were at home, correct?
The Phillies, when they blew the center lead to the Mets.
They were in Arizona for the most recent one.
They were in Arizona when they blew it, but
but
the
that's
other
what I'm
one,
saying,
they were
though.
at home and they blew it.
No, but the most embarrassing part about that loss people don't talk about for the Phillies is that do the math of baseball. They're up 7-0. Like I said, if it was 8-7, you would think maybe the Diamondbacks had a big 8th and 9th. They narrowly walked it off. Good on them. Good comeback. To win 13-7 at home after you're down big, that means you got to score all those runs before the bottom of the 9th.
Yeah.
That's the craziest part. They didn't need their last lick. They're up 13-7 in the 9th inning.
It's going to be such
pathetic.
The Phillies are
dumpster fire.
I mean,
I'm gonna say it. Dumpster fire.
They don't scare me. They just don't.
They never did from day one.
Never did.
Even they were getting hot. Even Harper's coming back. Okay, it's one guy. Harper himself does scare me when he's at the plate against anybody. He should with any baseball fan that plays against him. Schwarber doesn't scare me like he used to. He's been so up and down. It's like it's a week of greatness and a week of he's the worst hitter in the game.
Literally,
like he's streaky, but it's a new level.
The Phillies definitely don't scare me. The Yankees don't scare a lot of people right now, but it's an important 10-day stretch for them, and we'll see how Yankee fans are feeling after that stretch. You are listening to WHPC Sports Talk on the voice of Nassau Community College, 90.3 WHPC. Joshua Umahi, Ross Levine, Nico Each.
Yeah.
And Matt Leonard.
I thought I'm going to out you a little bit. You have the guy's name written down on an index card, which is very, very, very smart. I commend you for doing that, and you still got it wrong.
I'm used to Corey sitting there.
I'm aware. You called the man Corey while you read his name and it doesn't say Corey. Josh, I love you. You're great on this show, but wow, dude.
Yeah, that's a low light. That's a low light. I might have to. I'll laugh at myself and clip that. I'll definitely look to clip that. Let's get to, again, we got to the good in the New York Mets. We got to the bad in the New York Yankees. It's time for the ugly, fellas.
Bing bong!
Yep.
Yeah! I love that that's back. I really don't, but
it only comes around when there's just bad energy and stupid decisions made by the New York Knicks. And it's funny, I came in yesterday, and I kind of put a shield up for Leon Rose. I was like, if you want to be angry at Leon Rose, redirect your energy to Danny Ainge.
Yes, of course.
So, because Danny Ainge, I felt, took a lesser offer with trading with Cleveland. Yes, Donovan Mitchell is a Cav. Let's address that again.
For those that don't know, the Knicks screwed up. For those that don't know.
Yeah, he's not a Knick. Like everyone was saying. Everyone in sports media was saying, oh, the Knicks are really the only team in on Donovan Mitchell. And 6 days ago, the Cavs dropped out. That was the report.
What's going on in the New York Knicks
I don't want to know what's going on in the Knicks front office.
What's going on?
I do not want to know because it'll make me even more pissed off. Go ahead, Ross.
I'll be honest. I'm happy they didn't trade Barrett. I'm actually happy about that. I actually think they did the right thing by not trading R.J. Barrett.
Of course.
Yeah, and look, if that's what it was going to take to get this deal done, I can't really get mad at the Knicks for that because that would have been a typical Knicks thing to do is to trade one of those guys for a Donovan Mitchell where you're not going to get much better, maybe a little bit better. So it's not the worst day for the New York Knicks. I really don't think it's the worst day. I know a lot of people are going to say they screwed up. I think they were not the best, but I don't think they were the worst. They were not the worst.
To piggyback off that point, I agreed with you yesterday when I didn't know what the Knicks really offered, what their final offer was.
I didn't hear the final offer. What is that? What was it?
I got it for you here. I
haven't heard this.
I actually have two things. I have their offer back in July, which is crazy, and I have their offer here.
Which one is better, July or the current one?
For who?
For the Jazz. Which one is a better package, July or now?
July.
Wow.
Listen, I defended Leon Rose yesterday, but after I read this, you're going to be like, what the hell?
Please read July first.
So, the Knicks, Woj said in trade talks back in July.
This is officially, this was offered, right?
Yes.
It's not speculation.
Yes,
this was offered.
It's got the Woj stamp on it.
So it was tweeted in 5 different tweets, a word at a time?
Yes, it is.
Go on.
Yes, it was.
Go on.
The Knicks offered Utah R.J. Barrett.
Wow.
Jeez. Obi Toppin.
No. That's enough right there.
That's not even it. Mitchell Robinson.
Fine, bye.
And 3 unprotected first-round picks in July. And the Jazz turned that down.
For just Donovan Mitchell.
For just Donovan Mitchell.
Alone.
So how can you be? You can't be mad at the Knicks. The Knicks
did everything they could, Josh.
Hold on. Why are you even offering that in July? July is supposed to be your initial
feel
offer.
out the market.
Your starting point.
Yeah.
Why are you selling the farm in July?
Come in guns blazing. Hey, take our entire future and 3 picks and give us one guy.
If that
was the final offer and just to push it to really get it done, I wouldn't have been okay with it. I would have been more okay with it.
This is where it's so weird and why I can't defend Leon Rose today. I just can't because...
You know what? I know problem I have with that offer right there.
Yeah.
Donovan Mitchell plays shooting guard, right? Mm-hmm. You can play the one if you really need him to because of his size. You're trading an R.J. Barrett, who's a 2/3 guy, shooting guard, small forward.
Yeah.
Obi Toppin, who's a power forward. Mitchell Robinson, who's a center. For a small shooting guard, what? You said yesterday, you'll get the talent, you'll figure it out. But how does that work?
Don't do it that way.
You're trading away 3 of your taller players, 2 of your young, bright stars, and Mitchell Robinson. But you're trading away 3 of your bigger guys for a guy who's, quite frankly, undersized, but still great either way. I'm not thinking it affects his play, but let's go with the size thing. That's just outright dumb.
It's just so weird. And then you take into account what Woj says was their final offer.
Please
the
read
Knicks'
this.
final offer yesterday.
I'm ready to go. Read
It's
this.
actually less than what they offered in July somehow.
I would imagine, but read it.
R.J. Barrett, Emmanuel Quickly, and 2 first-round picks. Unprotected. Then you have...
I don't blame them for saying no to that. I don't blame them for that.
2 unprotected
After the previous offer, I don't blame them for going, Leon, what are you doing?
There was also 2 swaps, 2 protected...
Oh, whoa. So how many picks is there total?
It would be counting the swaps.
5 or 6?
Counting the swaps. 2, 3, 5.
Wow. And that's basically what the Cavs did. 3 unprotected and 2 swaps.
It's very similar
But
to
then
the
they don't have to
Cavs
give guys, Sexton, Lauri Markkanen, and Benny Agbayani.
It's very...
I don't know how to say his name. I'm going to say Agbayani. I'm sorry.
Ochai Agbaji.
Agbaji?
Yes.
I'll get that right next time. Shout out Benny Agbayani wherever you are.
Shout out Benny Agbayani.
My childhood hero.
There you go.
Legitimately.
Shout out.
That was the first Mets cult hero of my lifetime.
There you go. But, man... This is, and it's like this offer that I just read for the Knicks, it's very similar to the Jazz offer. So if you're Danny Ainge and he wanted R.J. Barrett, because
he clearly wanted R.J. Barrett.
The most interesting part of all this was Colin Sexton.
Yes.
I was thinking about this yesterday. I told you. I was like, what's going on with Colin Sexton? Because this kid can score the ball when he's healthy. Now, he was hurt last year, but when last seen, he was a 25 points per game scorer.
Absolutely.
In the NBA, that's a big deal.
Of course. So, and now young of an age, too?
Yeah, that's and I love...
The thing is, his team wasn't contending, so nobody cared. Yeah. That was the thing.
And
he was on last year's Cavs doing that, like all year.
Oof.
Could you imagine the money he'd be making?
And you know what? I love R.J. Barrett. And I think R.J. Barrett is going to project to be a better player than Colin Sexton.
Sexton's better now.
Sexton
in the current moment.
R.J. Barrett ain't never averaged 24 points a game in a season. Like, it's never happened. He's never
we
done
gotta be
that
honest.
yet.
Yeah, Sexton is better at this current moment. Does RJ have more potential? Exponentially, yes. But Sexton right now is the better player.
So I had this fear, and it went away when it was reported that the Cavs were they dropped out of the Mitchell talks. But I was like, if the Jazz can get their hands on Colin Sexton, isn't that better than any player we could offer? Like RJ Barrett's neck and neck with him.
In the present, yes, but the Jazz are rebuilding. Think about it like that. But they're not trying to win now.
And that's what I brought this.
That's
up
why
yesterday.
RJ Barrett would be a better guy for them.
Right.
I brought this up yesterday.
Let him
though.
develop.
Because who was rumored to trade with the Jazz for Donovan Mitchell?
Well, the Heat.
The Heat and the Knicks.
They wanted Hero.
The Heat. The Jazz did not want Tyler Hero because they did not want to pay him a rookie max.
Hero's also better than Barrett right now. Right now. No.
I don't
Hey. RJ has not won any kind of major award in this league. Hero just won. I get him off the bench, but he was 6th man of the year on the bench.
I'm not going to debate this for too long, but Tyler, if RJ Barrett was dropped into that Miami Heat culture,
Jimmy Butler,
come on, with Jimmy Butler,
tread like Jesus over there.
Like Tyler Hero is a very nice scorer, but he fell into the perfect situation. So I'm not going to debate that for long, though. We got more important fish to fry. Because
can I just say something about the trade real quick? The Utah side of the trade.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like it's Friday. We usually do our most wild stuff on Friday.
Oh,
you know where I'm going, right? I'm not going to fully explain it. I'm going to end with our usual. Look it up, folks. But
before you say anything, I have no attachment to this whatsoever.
Josh, no one has room has any attachment to this. I personally don't either. I just want to say it.
Okay.
But, Corey always said, like Colin Sexton in Cleveland, they called it, Believe Lamb. It was Sex Lamb or Colin Sexton there.
I can't believe you're going.
I'm not going to finish the statement because I don't want to.
Okay, go ahead.
But the Jazz now have a really good pairing of stars with Colin Sexton and Mr. Rudy over there. And the nickname these guys are getting.
All right.
Look it up.
That's enough.
Look it up, folks. Look it up.
We all saw it.
My favorite thing, by the way, is people will go, wow, a lot of people in Utah are Mormon. They're going to love this duo.
Yeah.
They're like, the people in Utah are going to love this.
I don't even know where to go after that, but yeah.
It had to be brought up.
What was I saying, guys? I lost my train of thought.
All they need is Kuminga, and they're the best team in history. I'm telling you. That's all they need. Give them Kuminga from the Warriors. They're the best team in the history of the NBA. It's Friday, folks. I apologize. But wow.
Okay, so the Utah Jazz, everyone. The Utah Jazz. They didn't want RJ Barrett or Tyler Hero because they didn't want to pay either guy a rookie max.
Yes.
And listen, they got your guy, Matt, Colin Sexton.
Yeah, pair with his buddy Rudy, but go on.
Pair with his buddy Rudy in Utah for a bargain deal, a 4-year, $72 million deal. That's a bargain for Colin Sexton.
Absolutely. We said it yesterday. The reason he got underpaid is because he was hurt, and that's unfair. But you said it. Last time we saw the guy, he was scoring 25 points a game in the NBA.
Yeah.
As a young player.
And you balance. So let's play a game of balance. The Knicks offer versus the Cavs offer.
How are we going to balance this? It's so unfair in favor of the Knicks.
Because
it's very much the original July Knicks offer. And there's no Knicks bias. What?
How do you deny that offer?
There's no. I'm not putting Knicks bias into this. Just look at the potential of these players. Lauri Markkanen, pretty much we know what he is or what he's going to be, right?
And by the way,
he's great. I'm not saying he's bad. We know what he is, though.
Yeah, we know what he is. And by
the way, he's good.
That's where I want to kind of go because the Jazz, if you look at this Cavs offer, again, the Knicks had more to offer. That's stamped.
For sure. They're the most to offer any team in the league.
But if you look at what the Cavs sent, they get Colin Sexton, so they get a young project player.
Yes.
They get Lauri Markkanen, the guy who, if he plays well, you can flip. Or you could flip him this offseason if you really wanted to.
Probably could. You can get some good picks out of that guy.
Come on, man. He was really good in Cleveland last year.
What's the most to give him? I would say, depending on the picks, I would give 2 firsts for Lauri Markkanen. If I was a team out there that needed him.
I wouldn't give 2, but if you get 1.
Depending on where the picks are. If you're a contending team, your pick is low. I would do it.
If you get, I'd say maybe a first and a second, but if you get just a first for Lauri Markkanen,
that's a win.
That's a big W.
You can get a high, like a lottery pick for Lauri Markkanen, you win.
So they get that. They wanted a project. They wanted a player they could flip for more picks.
Yes.
They get 3 unprotected first round picks.
And they keep Rudy.
And they might get Kuminga. But here's the deal, guys.
The Warriors on the phone.
The 3 unprotected first round picks I can't even say unprotected now. The 3 picks, the 3 picks were somewhere. Yes! I'm gonna try to keep the train on the tracks, guys. I'm gonna try. That's somewhere that the Knicks were not willing to go. The Knicks were not willing to go 3 first-round picks for Donovan Mitchell. And if you're Leon Rose and if you're a Knicks fan, can you excuse that for Donovan Mitchell?
No, not at all.
No.
Well, here's the thing.
It is a lot, but
this is what's going to happen. Okay, the Knicks, they're going to be like with this roster probably a 7th seed. That's what's going to happen. I think they're going to be a 7th.
They're
seed.
definitely a play-in team.
Play-in team.
Yeah.
And here's the
7,
thing.
8's the play-in, right? 6 and above.
7 to 10 is the play-in.
Okay.
And to me, if they got if they trade Barrett for Mitchell, are they getting that much better? Maybe a 5th seed.
I agree with you.
Yeah, if you get rid of RJ, you improve, but how much do you really improve?
It's a marginal improvement. It's too much of a lateral move.
It's not worth it.
So
really,
and
love Donovan Mitchell. He's way better than RJ is currently.
And they're not
He's
gonna
been in the league.
And they're gonna look. If this season doesn't go well, which it very well may not, they're probably gonna move on from the coach, because who knows if the coach even wants these guys, and Leon Rose, who knows how long his leash is. So I mean, they may clean house again, and that's even worse. And that's why I know people don't love Tom anymore. I understand why people don't like him. He's plays these guys way too hard. I get it, but
his whole career though, we knew that when he got here.
Yeah, but it's like,
look at Derrick Rose.
To me, if they fire him, which they probably will during the year, it's going to be even worse.
You think they'll fire him if they're on their way to being a playing team? I don't think so.
Well, no. If it doesn't go well,
let's say first month of the season they start really, really bad. You think Thibodeau's out by Christmas? You think Thibodeau's gone if they're not playing well?
Well, look, they even said before the season ended, they said he's safe for now. That doesn't sound great. I mean,
that is not a good statement by anybody in charge of the Knicks.
And if you're firing another coach, I mean, this is like their 15th coach since 2000. And if you fire him, now you're on your 16th, since 2000. That's ridiculous. I'm sorry. You can't keep firing coaches. It's not. It's gonna get nuts. And nobody. Honestly, if I was the head coach, I would not want that job. If they fire him, I would not want the job.
The Knicks were 14 and 18 on Christmas last year to start the season.
That wouldn't be enough to fire Thibodeau. For them, I don't
really think so?
For them, we would be calling for his head.
If they start the season the same way this year, with the Donovan Mitchell miss, the Jaden Ivey miss,
that wasn't a miss though. That was a bad lottery pick.
Well, we always attempted, though.
But they wanted Jaden Ivey. They wanted Donovan Mitchell. They didn't get either one.
They're going to want whoever they want. The other team has to agree to trade the player to the Knicks. Donovan Mitchell's a miss. I don't call Ivey a miss. I don't. I think they tried and failed. It's not a miss, though.
Okay.
The Pistons wanted Ivey more, and they had the pick to get him.
Yeah.
So they got luckier, and they got him. Big deal.
Let me phrase it this way. They wanted Ivey. They didn't get him.
A missed opportunity.
Okay.
I wouldn't call it a failure to get Ivey.
But they wanted.
He's going to be a great player.
True. And Donovan Mitchell is a great player now. You tried to get him, you didn't. So
that was a big failure for sure.
And then you trade your first round selection, which I didn't think it's a big deal because you're trying to trade for that big star and maybe a guy like SGA and OKC. If things go bad by midseason, you could look at him.
I mean, if things go bad for them, they're gonna be like, cool, we get 10 more draft picks. But, our draft picks are getting higher.
Yeah, that's true. Actually,
they want to keep the players that are playing bad because they want to make all their draft picks so high. Yeah, and they want what's the French guy? I don't know how to say either of his names. I can't say his first or last name properly. I can't.
On OKC.
No. The guy that's going to be number one likely in the draft. Yeah. 7'3" kid.
Wembanyama.
Wembanyama?
Yeah.
God bless you. And number 2.
Okay.
Number 2. I think OKC wants that guy. Just think about that lineup if that guy gets there.
Yeah. They'd be the Chet. You have Pokusevsky.
Josh Giddey. You got Gilgeous-Alexander.
Yeah, Gilgeous-Alexander. He's he's still young, but he doesn't really fit in those guys. Everyone you just
but he'd be the smallest guy on the starting lineup, 6'6".
But
how crazy is that?
My point is though, if OKC's gonna suck, right, and they will with no Chet,
of course,
they're gonna be 11th in the West or 12th in the West at best.
That's what they want this year, though. But the Jazz be below them.
If you're Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, are you really going for that? You are a young star player who's wasting away with the tankathon in OKC.
I wouldn't say it's wasting away.
He's wasting away.
I think
he is.
Okay, if I was him, right, I would look at the young players around me, think Chet will be back next year. Can I handle 1 year with this team without going crazy and wanting to leave? If he said I demanded trade in mid-season, I don't blame the guy. Really don't. But if I was him, I would stick it out for at least till next offseason until on the draft, see what happens with the lottery, and then if you don't like the moves, demand a trade, and they have to let you go because you've meant so much to them.
Yeah,
I would just stick it out for 1 more year if I was him because they're going places in the next 5 years, maybe.
Regardless, though, that's the guy that's on the Knicks' radar now, and we're looking at what? It's September.
They're not gonna get him if they couldn't get Donovan Mitchell. He's going to demand a higher price. He's younger.
But that's what the Knicks have committed themselves to. When you trade your first-round pick this year, you've committed yourself to star chasing.
Kind of.
You're just waiting for a disgruntled star to come along.
I would literally take Bradley Beal. Not that he's bad. I would take Bradley Beal.
I take anybody that can score the ball.
Anyone that has all-star game experience. Even one of them. Not named Randall.
How about just draft properly? Can you just draft properly and not...
Please.
Their draft selections have been pretty good lately.
Yeah, so keep going with that. Look how the Warriors won their championship. Look how the Suns got to the finals. That's how you win at the end of the day.
Look at the Bucks when they won.
Yeah.
That's the definition of drafting correctly.
I like
building
that.
from the ground up.
I like that we went there because I didn't want to come on here and sound like Stephen A. Smith and the Knicks. Like I didn't want to do that because Obi Toppin is still very good. RJ Barrett is very, very good. Quickly is very good.
Yeah.
We have some good young pieces, and like you said, the Warriors and the Celtics, the two teams in the finals last year, built through the draft.
Yeah, so that's what you have to do.
That's not a bad deal. It's not a bad strategy.
A lot of teams that are top of the NBA now, we're seeing built through the draft. Like I said, that's before. The Milwaukee Bucks and the Boston Celtics are likely going to be the top 2 teams in the East this year.
Yeah.
Likely.
And by the way, the East it's going to be a bloodbath this year.
I think it's very top-heavy again, though. It isn't like the West where 1 through 8 are all playoff contenders, like really good.
Okay.
I don't think it's 1 through 8 deep, or 1 through 10 now with the play-in. I don't think it's that deep like the West is. But I see the top 4 to 5 or even 6, that'll be a bloodbath for sure.
Both conferences, now that I think about it.
The play-in teams in the East are going to be pushovers, including the Knicks, sadly.
So it would be I'd throw the Hawks in there, the Knicks in there, the Hornets maybe. Yeah,
maybe. That's what I'm saying. The playing teams are going to be the pushovers. Like, we get a free bye. It will be that.
I agree.
But then you go to the top. You get the 76ers, whether you like Harden or not. He likely will have a decent year, and Joel Embiid just amazing.
Yeah.
You got Giannis and the Bucks. You got the Heat, who are always somehow good because Spoelstra is that good. But
listen, you
didn't mention the Celtics, who are the defending Eastern Conference champs, by the way.
Yeah, and they got better. And they had a tough blow with Gallinari going down.
Yes, I forgot. He blew out his knee, right? Towards ACL?
That was announced today, but...
That's a tough one.
The Knicks got
New York Knicks draft legend.
Okay.
We miss you, Gallo.
Again, I didn't
Wrong Gallo, but yeah.
I did not want to come on here and be LOL Knicks, but I am disappointed. I really am disappointed.
I am.
And, one time for the one time.
Bing bong! Bing bong!
Yeah! We'll wait what happens, and we'll see. Maybe Randall goes, maybe Fournier, maybe we'll see what they do. But at this point in the
Fournier
offseason...
over Randall. That's saying a lot.
Absolutely.
That's saying a lot.
Honestly, I need Julius Randle gone, and I'll just leave it at that.
If I want to sleep at night, I do, yes.
Yeah, no more Beyblade on the garden floor. Final thoughts, fellas. Winding down.
I would say a football the Giants released Blake Martinez.
Oh my God, we can get a reunion going. Yeah! Nico knows what's up.
I don't want him back.
Why not?
I don't want him back.
I'm okay with that move. I'm glad. I feel bad for...
Bring him home.
I feel bad for Martinez, but I'm not. The Giants had to do this. We need to. It was time. I mean, I'm glad. This is not Joe Shane's guy, so I'm okay with it.
The sooner you get rid of Dave Gettleman's remains on that roster. He might be the bottom 3 worst GM I've ever seen in any sport.
We were saying it yesterday, right?
His Giants tenure.
Yesterday or Wednesday, we said he's like bottom 5 worst New York GM in history.
I know I said it on Tuesday. Like, he is...
I know Wednesday we talked about that, right, Ross? That was Wednesday?
Yeah, him. Yeah, he's...
And I said Saturday the Knicks are probably majority of that bottom 5.
And it just,
probably, right?
Yeah, and him...
Shout out Scott Layden.
I put Mills in there. I put Phil Jackson in there.
Oh, the big 3.
I don't want to go LL Knicks. Sorry, Ross.
Joe Judge is definitely one of the worst coaches the Giants.
Oh, yeah. I would go to New York history with him, too. He was
Do you mean New England Patriots offensive coordinator?
Yeah.
Is it official?
Oh, God.
It's not official.
Oh, this still... Yeah. So you're telling me the season starts in a little over a week for them. They play next Sunday. They don't know who's calling their plays.
Matt Patricia or Joe Judge.
They don't know yet?
What a tandem in New England this year. Oh, my goodness.
They're going to be so bad. I'm all for it. I'm all for the downfall of that dynasty. I've had enough.
I agree.
I love Brady now that he's in Tampa. I've had enough of them.
I'm excited for Dable. I think Dable's going to be a good coach.
I think so, too.
Yeah.
What you got for us, Nico?
Well, same as yesterday. Preying on the downfall of the Yankees.
I like it. I really like you.
I love
want them gone.
You know what? I'm going to say it. This might sound weird. We need more hater energy on the show.
No matter what team it is.
Yeah, we need more hater energy.
Ross is just hater all around. We love you for it, but Ross hates everybody.
The Mets bullpen conversations have been so entertaining because they really are.
But he's not wrong ever.
Yeah,
That's the funniest part.
They really are shaky. Like, we can't ignore that.
We always yell at Ross, and the next day we come back and we go, Ross Levine was dead on. Like, every time. The Rangers especially. Yeah. Oh, my God.
Ross, you were dead on about
Ross. Every time Ross goes, the Rangers are going to lose tonight. The next day we come in, Ross, why'd you say that they lost?
Ross knows his stuff, man. He knows his stuff.
Like, Brian Daboll was in the building, and Ross called a loss, and that's how you know Ross is magical. Daboll was their lucky charm. And Ross goes, they're going to lose tonight. And Ross beat out Brian Daboll. All right.
I love it. What you got for us, man?
My final thought is it's slightly lengthy. I won't take too much time. We're running down here.
Okay.
I want to read the World Baseball Classic roster as it currently stands for 2023, right?
Mm-hmm.
If anyone that doesn't know, the World Baseball Classic is essentially the World Cup of baseball, right? All the best baseball players in the world played for their respective countries. It's a spectacle. United States are the reigning champs. They won last year. Let me say, this is the best U.S. roster I've ever seen, and that includes rosters that had, like, Jeter, David Wright, all these guys.
Mm-hmm.
They have two catchers so far, JT Realmuto and Will Smith. Great start. All the guys are all committed by it and will play, obviously pending injury.
Right.
Two first basemen would be this year's likely MVP, Paul Goldschmidt, and Polar Pete. Pete Alonso will be playing DH most likely every day. Second base, you got Trevor Story. Third base, Nolan Arenado. Two shortstops in Tim Anderson and Trey Turner. The outfielders are the craziest part. You ready for this?
Oh, Lord.
Mookie Betts, Bryce Harper, Cedric Mullins, Kyle Tucker, and by the way, the captain of the team is Mike Trout. They're managed by Mark DeRosa, which, but their hitting coach is Ken Griffey Jr.
Oh, well, there you go.
This is the greatest team I've ever seen assembled. This honestly is like the 1993 NBA Dream Team, the U.S. It reminds me that the names on this roster and how great they're going to be in the future, how great they are now. This is Dream Team level in baseball. It's that good.
Listen, it definitely sounds like it.
I'm excited. And by the way, Marcus Stroman was the standout pitcher for the U.S. in last tournament and big reason why they won. It was announced the other day, Marcus Stroman, and I didn't even know that he could do this, will be representing Puerto Rico.
What?
And I said, And I said to myself,
Excuse me?
I have a lot of Puerto Rican heritage in my family. I'm half Puerto Rican. So I root for Puerto Rico, too. I love Lindor. That's my boy.
Mm-hmm.
Hate Javi Baez, who's played for them. Molina's going to play for them. Correa's going to play for them. I like a lot of the guys. Like I said, I represent my country. But I hear Stroman's playing with Puerto Rico, and I thought to myself, first of all, unless he's 5% Puerto Rican on some weird relative side, no.
That's such a Mark Stroman move.
It's such a Kevin Durant move. It's like, I just won the championship, but these guys look pretty good. Let's go pitch over there.
Two guys that go against the grain right there. Well,
shut up, Marcus Stroman. Just shut up. I'm going to curse him out on Twitter so I can get blocked.
Yes, there you go.
I don't got to hear him anymore.
Fellas, that'll do it for a fantastic Friday WHPC Sports Talk show. Thank you once again for listening on the voice of Nassau Community College, 90.3 WHPC. From Ross Levine, Nico Each, Matt Leonard, I'm Joshua Umahi signing off. We'll see you back Monday at 4 p.m. Have a fantastic Labor Day weekend, everybody.